Good morning, everybody. This is Walmart Rob coming to you guys on another video. Today's topics, we're going to be talking about cell phone policy, how to scale a load, and pretty much what we do at the end of the week when we're going home. What's the process that we do? First of all, let's start off with the phone policy. Walmart's phone policy is that we're allowed to speak 10 minutes for a total of 1 hour on line 3. Again, that's 10 minutes for a total of 1 hour on line 3 in one workday. Anything other than line 3, whether it's line 1, 2, or 4, it doesn't matter. You can go as much as you want on there. So just to recap, 10 minutes for a total of 1 hour, line 3 on line 3 in one workday. So again, you know, hopefully that clears up the phone policy. Been wanting to speak on it, but another topic that I want to talk today also about is how to scale a load. Actually, I just did this one this morning, and pretty much for all those of you guys that are not new to trucking, you guys know what a cat scale looks like. There's different types of scales that you can do, but I like this one better because this one backs you up in case you get pulled into a scale. These are more trustworthy. Again, this is a cat scale, and on these cat scales, sorry, the lighting in here is not that good. It's still AM hours, but basically you have your steer, your drive, and your trailer axles, or your tandems, however you know it, and then you have your total combined weight. Again, legal limits are steers is 12,000, your drives are 34,000, and your tandems are 34,000 for a total gross weight of 80,000 pounds. Anything above 80,000 pounds, we know that you're over gross, and by then you are illegal to proceed. The way let's just say, I'm gonna give you an example of a load that's overweight that's you're able to fix. Say we have 11,500 on your steers, and we have 34,500 on your drives, and we have 31,000 pounds on your tandems. With that being said, we want to pretty much, the way we fix this is that California allows us a bridge law of 40-foot maximum from kingpin to the center of your rear axle. So the way I like to scale everything, I always set myself at that 40-foot bridge law. That way I know anything heavy on the rear above that I cannot fix, and it has to be taken back to the vendor or the DC if it's at the DC. But in this case, we have the trailer. This is the front, this is the nose of the trailer, rear of the trailer. So pretty much what we're trying to do is we want to take weight from your drives. We need to take about at least 550 pounds. That's what I like to be at. So each one of the holes in the back, it's roughly about 250 pounds. So in this case, we need at least about 3 holes. So we go above, you know, what we need. Like I told you, we're only 31,000 in the back, so we want to shift those 500 pounds to the rear. So we have to move our axles forward 3 holes. That way, once we move those axles and we lock them in place, our trailer pretty much the weight will shift back, taking off weight from your drives to the rear tandems. So again, that's how we fix a common load. Sometimes you are heavy on your drives and on your tandems, but you're legal on your tandems and you're just overweight on your drives. Then we would slide the fifth wheel forward towards the cab, basically closing the gap between the truck and the trailer. Again, if you guys don't know how to do that, pretty much there is a fifth wheel release lever inside your truck. If you have a slidable fifth wheel, if you guys have a pretty much a already fixed fifth wheel, you cannot slide it. So pretty much there's nothing you can do at that point. So in order for us to be able to slide that fifth wheel, we got to release pressure off of that fifth wheel. And the way we do that is pretty much we lower our landing gear. I like to crank it 3 times once it touches the ground first, then we crank it 3 full times. So we start hearing that air gush, and we release pressure off the fifth wheel. Once we do that, we go inside and we rock it a little bit so the pins on the fifth wheel contract and the fifth wheel is released. Once we do that, you give it a little tug so it's nice and loose, and then we put it in reverse and we close that gap. Once we close that gap, we have to figure out how much distance we need. So if you're in the middle of the rail of the fifth wheel, and let's say you accidentally slam it against the block stops of the fifth wheel, what we got to do is pretty much pull forward and pretty much center it right down the middle between the center of the fifth wheel and the block stops on front of the fifth wheel. Once we do that, we release the fifth wheel back to its normal position on the off position, and we rock it a little bit and lock those pins in place. Once we do that, we have to race our landing gear back like when you picked up your trailer. You want to make sure that your pins are out on your fifth wheel. Make sure it's locked on both sides, completely extracted out. Make sure that that's a very important thing. Make sure they're completely extracted, because you do not want to proceed to down the road and pretty much it's an accident waiting to happen. So make sure that your pins are out, guys. Well, with that said, we're moving on to our third point, which is end of week process. And pretty much what I like to do at the end of the week is I got 5 steps that I do before I go home. First step, once you arrive to the distribution center, the guard shack will give you a space number, and that's where you're going to drop the trailer. And once you drop the trailer, you hang up your glad hands and your electrical cord where you're supposed to. Make sure you do a post trip on that trailer, because you want to make sure that all the lighting, tires, and everything are in good condition for the next driver. That's very important. We don't just disconnect and just leave the trailer there. No. Once you do the post trip, you fill out your DVIR for that trailer and you're good to go. My second step that we do is we go to the fuel island, and I fill up my tank all the way full and my DEF all the way full. That way the truck is ready, filled up for the next driver to pick up. Third step that I do is I take my truck to the wash bay. This process takes me about 30 to 40 minutes approximately, and pretty much before I run it through the automatic wash bay, what I like to do is wash the back wall of the truck, make sure I get all the debris off. I like to wash my chassis, my undercarriage, where it's possible, and under the hood to get all the salt, all the dirt or debris that I picked up if I wasn't out in the snow. Even if I'm not out in the snow, I still do it. I just like to make sure everything's clean. And once I do that, I wash my rims, my tires, and everything, and just hit the button for the automatic wash, get in my truck, and let the wash bay do the rest. Once I'm done with that wash bay, I go to step number 4, and that's move my truck over to my car, and I'll offload all my gear, clean the truck, and leave it ready for the next driver also. I keep it clean throughout the week, but I still go through it at the end of my work week to make sure that it's all clean. Once I finish cleaning the inside of the truck, my next step is to go upstairs, turn in my paperwork, and have my coordinator reset me for my next day out, which for me is a Tuesday. So I would go Tuesday at 6 o'clock a.m. And once I do that, I'm set to go. These are 3 things that every one of you guys have been asking me. You know, processes, policies. You know, how to scale load. For you that is new to trucking, pay attention to that. That's how to scale the load. You know, it's gonna help you a lot when you're overweight. And the process for the loads, in case you're completely overweight, overgrossed, is we have to call our vendor issues department and let them know, you know, hey, load can't be fixed. From there, you're going to receive a set of instructions, and you just proceed and just keep the office informed and let them know of everything that's going on. Okay, guys, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. If you're new, you do want to subscribe to this channel. Make sure that you hit that notification bell. That way you're always up to date with new videos that we're coming out. Drop your comments down below, people. Again, hit me up with your topics that you guys want to be talking about. Also, don't forget to share these videos. If it helps you, it can help another person out at all times. Again, we also will be doing a live video pretty soon. That way, kind of like the open forum video that we did. And we're going to try to do it AM hours. It might be later on today, or it might be tomorrow. You know, I have to see when I have time. But with that said, guys, don't forget, this is Walmart Rob. Stay in touch.